You are about to meet the most powerful dragon to ever exist, Ancalagon the Black. From the very moment you hear his name, you can feel the weight of terror. Ancalagon wasn't just a dragon. He was the biggest, the most destructive, the very embodiment of rage and unchecked power. Nothing in the world could match his strength or his presence. When he flew overhead, the shadow of his wings would cover the sun, and the earth would quake from the sound of his claws scraping the ground. The air would change, it became heavy, suffocating. Nothing stood in Ancalagon's path. Imagine a creature over 3,200 feet long. His muscles, massive and rock-solid, were built to crush anything that dared to resist him. The simple beat of his wings, each with a wingspan stretching over hundreds of feet, generated wind strong enough to tear entire forests apart. His scales, black as the darkest night, gleamed with a menacing, almost hellish glow, reflecting the fear he spread everywhere he went. Ancalagon weighed thousands of tons. He didn't walk, he crushed. Every step made the ground tremble, as if the world itself was trying to escape his presence. His teeth, each one the size of a sharp sword, were designed to kill efficiently. No prey, no matter how strong, stood a chance. He ripped through flesh and bone with ease. Ancalagon's teeth weren't just tools for hunting, they were weapons of war, capable of tearing apart any creature that dared to stand in his way. If you heard Ancalagon's growl, it was already too late. His approach meant certain death. There was no escape. His claws were true blades of destruction, razor-sharp and over 6 feet long. These claws could pierce even the hardest stone, devastating everything around him with a single swipe. Ancalagon was a force of nature. He didn't just hunt, he destroyed for pleasure. His hunger didn't drive him as much as the satisfaction of watching the chaos he left in his wake. Ancalagon was driven by uncontrollable fury, and everything in his vicinity fell victim to his wrath. Then there was his tail, a weapon of mass destruction. With just one swing, Ancalagon could bring down entire cities. Trees, buildings, mountains, nothing could stand against the crushing power of Ancalagon. His movements, despite his enormous size, were fast, precise, and lethal. He hunted with terrifying agility, smashing and obliterating everything in his path. When he flew, his speed was so incredible that the sky would split with the thunderous sound of his wings. There was no escaping his wrath. Ancalagon was insatiable. He consumed tons of meat every day. No army was large enough to satisfy his voracious appetite. He devoured everything. Giant beasts, massive creatures, even dragons, everything was just food for this machine of destruction. His hunting wasn't just for survival. He hunted because he could, because he enjoyed it. Nothing was left in Ancalagon's wake. He left no survivors, only ruins and rubble. Everything he touched, he destroyed. Ancalagon's appetite was the stuff of legend. He didn't eat like a normal animal. He devoured entire continents. It wasn't just about the meat, he craved destruction, chaos. He consumed everything, and his hunger never seemed to be satisfied. Even the largest herds and armies were decimated, reduced to nothing more than small snacks for this colossal beast. Ancalagon could consume over 60,000 pounds of meat each day, a number so absurd that it suggests he wasn't from this world at all, but rather a creature born to destroy. His wings, which blocked out the sun, cast everyone around him into a terrifying darkness. Cities trembled, forests withered, and despair took hold of anyone who saw him. The beating of his wings was the sound of doom. Nothing could survive in Ancalagon's presence. His speed was so terrifying that when he attacked, everything seemed to happen in the blink of an eye. You wouldn't have time to run, because he'd already be upon you, with his claws and teeth ready to rip you apart. It was as if fear itself had taken a physical form. Everyone knew that when Ancalagon appeared, there was no hope. His name became synonymous with destruction, a living legend that terrorized entire civilizations. Even today, when we speak of him, we can still feel that fear. He wasn't just a dragon. He was the worst thing that could ever happen to the world. Wherever he passed, chaos ruled. And his name echoes to this day as the greatest predator to ever exist, a machine of destruction with an insatiable hunger and unstoppable strength. There was no way to fight him, because he was unbeatable. When Ancalagon appeared, there was nothing left but silence, and total devastation. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about terrifying creatures and hidden mysteries, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty of mysterious and curious videos waiting for you. Leave a comment with your suggestions for future videos. See you in the next mystery.